Hey, so as I said, this video will be talking about how to say no. And this is very, very important when it comes to seller's tactics. So I'll go ahead and go over a few of the experiences I had today while on vacation. So the first time I had to say no was when we were going to do dirt bike riding. 20 minutes of dirt bike riding was 150 AED each. And so that was going to be 300 AED for just 20 minutes. We wanted to do an hour at the very minimum because we wanted time for pictures, we wanted time for other things. And so the cost of an hour was $350 per person. And so understanding that this is a company business and that they make a ton of money off of tourists like me, I know that there's a lot of baked in, price increases. So we were able to negotiate that down to 600 AED for the both of us. But here's how that was done. So they asked for 700, and I said, "Can you do anything better?" They said no. And they said, "You're getting a whole hour rather than 20 minutes. And I said, "Okay, well, just give us 40 minutes then." And they were like, "All right." So I'm assuming that their tours are normally an hour long regardless, and 40 minutes would be cutting in to their ability to get the bikes back in a timely manner. So somebody gave them a nod of approval, and they eventually agreed to do the 600 pricing. That was not far off from what they are currently making, again, with 700 on two people. But that was just a way to save a small amount of money to keep us in that vacation mode, keep us moving forward. I ended up spending that same money while in the desert area, giving it to some guy with a hawk. Which probably shouldn't have overpaid that much, to be honest. I gave him 100 AED to take pictures with a hawk. But when I overheard his friends say like 20 AED or something like that, I was like, okay, I vastly overpaid, but that was okay. Again, life experience, you live and learn. And then when we were getting our pictures from the dirt bike riding, we had already had pictures, but this one was like a portrait that I could hang up in my room or do something with. And so he tried to charge us about 120 AED. And I was able to negotiate that down for the both of us to 100 only. As we were about to walk away, I said, you know what, I'll agree to the 100. If I had negotiated further, I could have probably got him for 70 since he had already printed it out. But, I didn't really want to haggle further. Could I have? Yes. And would I have been successful? Yes, I believe so. The real bummer, though, was when we got stranded and we didn't have any taxis or anything. And the price was 400 AED just to get to some semblance of normalcy, some semblance of reality, get downtown. And that was about $108 US just for a taxi to drive us. And, would they have been wiggle room? Sure. But it would have took a lot, and a lot of patience. It would have took a lot of haggling, and probably would have had to maybe look around and maybe even find somebody else to drive us. And I'm pretty sure had we asked 100 people, we would have got back for free maybe. But, when you want to live your best life, especially on vacation, you don't truly want to have to wait on someone else. And so you'll pay on vacation to get where you need to go. But again, that's not normal to pay 100 plus for a taxi. So that was the one ripoff that I will say, as smart as I may think I am, they still got over on us. And, you should think, when you're going to a desert, will there be service available for you to, you know, access the things that you personally need. And that's something to think about no matter where you go, whether it be the beach, are there going to be people there, and everything else in between. With that being said, you'll see a lot of the taxi guys, especially if you're American, they'll try to either charge you more or charge you the same. And so now I'm looking at Uber rates, and I'm basing that off of what they're paying. Some people are saying we'll pay the same. Some people are saying they'll pay less. But at least I know that this person is right here, right now. I don't got to wait for Uber to try and find my location. And I don't got to say, why am I paying more than what Uber is? You see, so now I can negotiate with taxi drivers rather than them charging me a rate that they think is reasonable. So moving forward, I will only pay whatever the Uber rate is or less, depending on the taxi driver's demeanor. But I will never pay more, and I will always use a taxi rather than an Uber, because I don't have to wait on a taxi, and we only have to wait for the Ubers. So all of that makes a lot of sense. All of that is fine and good, and all of that was learned in just one day. And so sometimes life costs money to gain the experience. And as you gain that experience, you push that forward, because I do plan to go to Africa next year. And in going to Africa, we will run into similar situations like this. But because I have the experience, because I'm more prepared, I'll be more ready to handle different outcomes, different events, different scenarios. On top of that, we'll have family members who are very, very familiar with Africa, and people in our family who have just went. And so they can tell us a little bit of the experiences they had and where they think they might have been ripped off, and certain things that we can avoid financially, and some things that we can avoid for safety reasons and things in between. But aside from that, sometimes experiences will cost money. So when someone says, hey, I did this, it was dumb, it was wrong, it won't happen again because I've gained the experience, I can always agree with that, no matter what they think. It is not bad to say, hey, I did something wrong, but I learned from it. What's bad is to not have accountability about it. Like, I can tell my subscribers, hey, I got hit over the head for 400 AED, over $108 to drive a taxi. But I said no to this, and this. And if you were watching this whole video and listening, how much money did I save in certain areas versus what I would have spent had I not negotiated certain things? Now, not everybody likes to negotiate. Not everybody likes to go out there and say, hey, I want this for this price. And to be honest, I hate negotiating. In fact, 9 times out of 10, I will never do it. But when I know I'm trying to live my best life for a week or two, and we have a budget set in mind, not like a, I must spend this amount or I won't spend this amount, but like when you know you're out here for a week and things can get crazy, you want to be mindful of your spending, no matter how much fun you're having, because, you got to be able to pay your bills and sustain yourself regardless of what you're doing, where you're at, or what life you're trying to live. And so, yes, saying no is important. And I walked away from a lot of things. I could have bought some cologne that I actually liked, but they were asking for a little bit more than I wanted to pay. And so I said, you know what? I don't need to smell like that. It's just that simple. And so you give and you take. It's not a must-have, right? That's an option. And so I will not be acquiesced to get something that I simply do not need. If you like this video, if this helps you, if this emboldens you to start saying no a little bit more, make sure you leave a like down below. Make sure you comment down below. Tell me when's the time that you said no. When's the time that you denied someone your money because it wasn't necessary for you, right? You don't go to the grocery store and buy everything, right? You don't go and buy the Jell-O because you don't like Jell-O. That's just not for you. So if you have something that you would like to share, please let me know. And I will definitely speak on that on my channel, or not if it's something for the private. But you know I post every single day at 8 a.m. daily, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. Peace.